I have been in a band for around 3 months now, and one of the things that's annoying us at the moment is our stage. It's just far too small. It's around 2 meters long and 1.5 meters wide or deep. And you can imagine with a 5-piece band, of which we've got a keyboardist and a drummer, there's just not enough space. And to be honest with you, I'm sick and tired of bashing that in the face with my headstock. So I figured I'd do something about it. That's the 2 pallets lying behind me. Now in my case, I happen to be lucky because I've got a friend who supplies fruit and vegetables for a living. And so she gets these pallets in, like 10 to 15 easily each week. That's why I got them so cheaply. If you are going to get them second hand, a couple of things you might want to look out for to make your life a lot easier. Firstly, this pallet is a very good example of what not to buy. There's a plank missing, which if you happen to have a plank this width, well, it's not such a big deal. But if you don't, make life challenging for yourself. Any nails that are sticking up, especially ones that are curved over, again, it's a bit of a nuisance. I know it's pretty easy to remove things like that, but you want to make your life as easy as possible. The bigger issue for me is that this thing is wobbly. This thing needs to be able to hold the weight of people and speakers perhaps, and instruments and the such. So you want to be careful about that. You want to make sure that what you've got is sturdy and is nice and flat on top. The better the pallet looks, the better. Probably can't see it, but on this side, the plank is cracked and broken on the bottom here, so this isn't strong. Its integrity is a problem. So let's get onto the build itself then. Right, behind me is our first pallet I'm going to be using, but before we can put the masonite on top, I need to strengthen it. There are some cracks in this thing that are going to cause problems if I'm not careful. So we'll use pre-cut pieces of wood like this across 3 planks, give it more strength. That should do the trick. That'll be nailed and glued, so we'll have to wait till tomorrow to put the masonite on. Probably don't have to, but I'd rather be careful. In the meantime, while that's drying, we will put the masonite on the next pallet. So. Now I am going to add some wood glue to this. It's just unfortunately my framing wasn't that great, that's why you can't really see me doing it. But I'm putting 3 lines on to match with the 3 planks I'm about to glue down. And then you'll notice in a second that I didn't actually give myself enough space. I just for some reason didn't think about the fact that there was a plank above where I'm supposed to be hammering, and the 2 nails closest to my knee there. And that's when I realized my mistake. So I'll take a short break to do the 2 furthest from me. Then the 2 in the middle. Then decide it's going to be a hell of a lot easier if I move to the other side. And we get to the end of the process. Sort of anyway. There's still a few more little things to do. I plan to put some panels on the front and the sides, make it look a lot neater. I will, of course, cut out some holes for hands to make it easier to carry. I also need to file down this side. You'll notice there's about an inch of a lip here. Someone steps on here, they're going to break their foot or something, and we don't want that. In conclusion, I will say that when you glue and nail this masonite on top of your pallets, you'll want to run your hand over the top to make sure there's no place to sort of lift up or push down. Because ideally you want it to be as smooth and as flat as possible. You would have seen me filing around this side, the front and the right hand side quite a lot. The reason for that is because when I cut this thing, I tend to cut it a little bit bigger than the pallet, because you can file down masonite so easily. Makes it easier to shape. The reason for that, of course, being that because when you buy a pallet, it's never 100% square. Now the reason that at the end of this project I will have 4 of these things, maybe even 6, is because that way we can position these 4 stages in any sort of format or shape that we want to. It means we can fit into any sort of hall or room that we need to. Also, anybody can carry these things inside. Because these pallets are 1 meter by 1.2 meters, they're not that heavy to carry. So it's also easier to transport on the back of a bakkie or something. All of that having been said, I think that's about all that I wanted to show you guys. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate the support. If you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments. I am trying something new here. I'll see you guys next time.